All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, which is the name of the Most High, and Yahweh Shai, which is the name of the only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. I just wanted to do a little video going over the the virgin birth. All right, whether is it fact or is it fiction? Okay, because this is a big topic, man. Was the Lord Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus Christ, was he actually born of a virgin, or was he born just like me and you? And our teaching is that Christ was born of a man and a woman, right? Joseph and Mary had sex and created Jesus. But the thing is the spirit of Jesus, right? The spirit of Yahweh Shai, who they call Jesus, was divine, right? It was a divine spirit, a special spirit that was in the child, okay? But the child was made of man and woman, okay? Now, the first thing that you have to understand is when you deal with the scriptures, inside joke, when you deal with the scriptures, the word, virgin has different meanings. It just depends on the context. It's not like today, where there's only one context for the word, which means a person who has never had sex before. That's not true. When you deal with the scriptures, when you deal with the scriptures, the word virgin can mean a person who's never engaged in sexual intercourse, but it also can mean a young woman of marriageable age, and that's what the word virgin meant when it was speaking about the Virgin Mary in the book of Matthew, which we're gonna get that, right? We're gonna get the scriptures. All right? Because hey, look, my man, mind of God, you're gonna get cut 6 ways to Sunday, my man. All right? Hey, look, man, I saw your videos, right? I've seen your videos, and I know you don't hurry, but I'll shoot you down the drain so fast they will call you Tim Scurry. Inside joke. Hey, as I said, my man, hey, look, IETT, I am the notorious BIG of the scriptures. All right, I am the alpha when it comes to scriptures, my man. Okay, and I've reached out to that cat. What's that guy? Good Servant. Right, try to, have a civilized discussion with him, because he sounds like a cool guy. He don't know the scriptures, but, he sounds like a good guy. Would be a guy who I would, buy a $5 Red Bull for. I mean, hell, $5, man. I mean, yeah, that's like, 2 weeks worth. That's 2 weeks worth of food for me, man. And I'm not even being sarcastic, being dead serious. All right. Anyway, if all jokes aside, go to the book of Matthew, chapter 1 and verse 18. It says, "Now the birth of Yahweh Shai was on this wise, when as his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph. Before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Ghost. Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man, and not willing to make her a public example, was minded to put her away privately." Right, now let's examine that. Why was Joseph going to put her away privately? Because he knew the the law, which I'm going to get that in a little bit. But back then, man, when a woman was to be married, if they were not virgins, when they were married, that could be a sin unto death right there. Okay, they could be stoned to death. So that was a very important thing. Back in that time, it wasn't like today, where, before a woman's, married, they've already, been with, 10, 15, 20 different guys, man. Okay, I mean, hell, some women, been, in her lifetime might have been with 100 partners, man. Especially, the nigger woman, right? Especially the so-called black woman, right? The Israelite woman, right? I mean, hell, man, it's a, different man every 2 weeks. And that's just, part of the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Scriptures say, what? You shall betroth a wife, meaning you shall be engaged to a wife, but another man will lie with her. All right, that's a topic for another video, right? That's a topic for another What If inside joke. Shout out to the What If channel, by the way. Good channel. But anyway, getting back to what we were talking about. Right, but Joseph was not willing to make Mary a public example, so he wanted to put her away privately. Okay, so it wouldn't be a, an issue. Okay, verse 20, but while he thought on these things, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a dream, saying, Joseph, thou son of David, fear not to take unto thee Mary thy wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Ghost. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahushua, for he shall save his people from their sins. Now all this was done, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the Lord by the prophet, saying, behold, a virgin shall be with child, and shall bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted is Yahweh with us. Right, so, it's very plain and simple, man. Okay, that Joseph slept with Mary, and I'm going to show you, right? As I said, I have more lines than a Ziggurat's cake tree. Okay, my flow is absolutely insane when it comes to scriptures. All right, we're going to go all into it. All right? We're going to go all into it, man. Okay? Bear with me just a second. Hey, look, man, we're going to be bringing out so much information here, man. It'd be just like, what's that guy? Just like, the Flat Earth man says in his, music video, man. I'm going to dazzle you, right? And I'm going to play tricks on your mind, right? That's what I'm going to do, man. Right? I'm going to dazzle you and play tricks on your mind right here. Right? Show you how much, information is here. These cats just don't go into, man. All right, now, what I want to do, let's go back to the Old Testament here. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. Okay, let's go to Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter. And Mighty God won't do this, though. Hold on, we'll skip over that part. Oh, and also, Mighty God, I want to ask you, how old was Mary, when she gave birth to Christ? I want to know that, right? I want to see what you have to say. Anyway, Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter. Let's go to the 13th verse. It says, and if any man take a wife, and go in unto her, and hate her, and give occasions of speech against her, and bring up an evil name unto her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came unto her, I found her not a maid, then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity, and unto the elders of the city in the gate, and hold on a sec. And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I had gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hath hated her. And lo, he hath given occasion of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city, and the elders of the city shall take that man and chastise him. Right. And what's this talking about here? Okay, if a man takes a woman, right, and he says, well, she wasn't a virgin when I lied with her. Because again, that was a serious sin back then. All right, the woman would get stoned to death, as it's going to describe later on in the verse here. If she was not a virgin when she was going to be married. So that was man, that's not something you want to mess up, man. Okay, women back then were not like women today, man. Okay, so this is what it's talking about here. That's why Joseph wanted to put Mary away privately, is because he didn't want to make her a public example, because if she was made a public example, more than likely, she would have been stoned to death. Okay, because that's what the law says, and they went by the law of the scriptures, right, of the scriptures. Okay. Oh, which by the way, Mighty God, I hope you saw my new Flat Earth shirt, man. Okay, which by the way, if you want to order one, man, you can go on wish.com, man. Just look up the damn Flat Earth shirt. Okay, as I said, man, this guy. This guy's, tap dancing around those scriptures like the bottom half of Betty Ripson. Which, if anybody's read the It novel, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, you know, just like my guy, what's that guy, man? Calls himself now the King Lion. But, he used to be called the loving Christian, which I like that guy. He's pretty cool, man. But, that better be sounding like, damn, stuttering Bill from the It novel. And I'm not even being mean, man. I mean, dead serious. Right? Which, again, I like that guy. So, there's no beef, right? There's no beef. It's all cool. Anyway, verse 19 says, "And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he hath brought up an evil name upon the virgin of Israel. And she shall be his wife, and he may not put her away all his days." Let us stop there for a second before we move on. Right, so this is what Joseph was going to do with Mary. He wanted to put her away privately because he didn't want to make her a public example. Because if that was to be the case, if she was to be found with a child before she was married, that would be looked down upon, man. That was considered to be weird back then. Okay, so you could get put to death for something like that back then, man. So that's why it said he wanted to put her away privately. Okay, and you see, man, you see why I made the statement earlier, man, that ETT is the notorious BIG of the scriptures, because, mind of God, he won't go into this information. He won't go into this, right? He won't go anywhere near the laws of the Old Testament. He won't, he really won't talk about that kind of stuff. He's only on there talking about, two witnesses, right? Because the main thing he's talking about now, man, is, the rapture's on the number of days. That's not true. The rapture is not on the number of days, man. I mean, it could be on the number of months. That could be true. I'll give you that. It could be on the number of weeks or the number of months. That could be true. Right? I mean, hell do I know? All right, but I mean, only after the tribulation, will Yahushua returns. That's why it says in Matthew, the 24th chapter, that only after the tribulation of those days will Christ return. There's only one second coming of Christ in the scriptures. There's not 2 second comings. Anyway, I digress. Verse 20 says, "But if this thing be true, and the tokens of the virgin be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die, because she hath brought folly in Israel to play the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put away evil from among you." Right, so you see how serious it is, and he won't bring this part out, because once you see this, right, once you see this part, you will clearly see what Joseph was referring to. Okay, why he wanted to put her away privately. It was because what? Because if they were to find out that she was, she had a child before she was married with a man, that could be a sin unto death. So that's why he wanted to put her away privately. Clearly, that's what it's talking about. Okay? I mean, how can you get around this? This is the law, man. All right, this is the law on how you deal with it. Okay, and again, if you want to read yourself, Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter, you start at verse 13 and read to verse 21. It's clear as day, right? It's easy peasy, man. Okay, it's easy, right? Plain and simple, man. All right, anyway, let's go to the book of the Wisdom of Solomon. And as you see, man, you see how ETT, my flow, just like, Pennywise told Joker in that ERB battle, man, my flow is absolutely insane, man. All right, when it comes to the scriptures. Right? As I said, I am the notorious BIG. There's really nobody who can, really challenge my level of intelligence when it comes to these scriptures. And I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to put myself, or let me rephrase myself, I'm not trying to flex. But I mean, come on, this is a spiritual ass beating right here, man. I mean, damn, this is damn shame right here, man. Right? Which again, no offense to Mind of God, he's a cool guy, but I mean, it's like, damn, man, I mean, you're getting your ass handed to you, man. Better up your game, boy. Anyway, I digress. Let's go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, and verse 1. It says, "I myself also am a mortal man, like unto all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth. And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months. being compacted in blood of the seed of man, and the pleasure that came with sleep. And when I was born, I drew in the common air. It fell upon the earth, which is like nature, and the first voice which I uttered was crying, as all others do. I was nursed and swaddled in clothes and with cares. For there is no king, listen here, for there is no king that had any other beginning of birth. For all men have one entrance into life, and the like going out. Right, so we all came into the world the same way, by a man and a woman coming together and creating a child. The same thing with Christ. But as I said, the special thing with Christ is his spirit was divine, right? His spirit was a divine spirit. Okay, his spirit was special. Okay, that's the special thing about Christ, was his spirit was a divine special spirit above all of us, man. Okay, that was the special part about Christ. It wasn't which I'm going to show you. Let me see real quick. Let's go to Luke, the 2nd chapter. And as I said, man, hey, look, ETT is handing out, spiritual KOs left and right here, man. I mean, hell, somebody called the Ambalam, right? Somebody called the Ambalam, all right? Shout out to anybody who knows that meme, right? But somebody called the Ambalam, man. All right, the ambulance, right? Because somebody just got laid out. It's a joke. Anyway, let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 2, and verse 40. Let's go to verse... we'll start a little bit above just so we can understand the context of the skip sheet. Let's go to Luke chapter 2 and verse 41. It says, Now when his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover, and when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. And when they had fulfilled the days, as they returned, a child, Yahushai, tarried behind in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother knew not of it. But they, supposing him to have been in the company, went a day's journey. And then they sought him among their kinsfolk and acquaintance. And when they found him not, they returned again back to Jerusalem, seeking him. And it came to pass that after 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou dealt thus with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing. And he said unto them, How is it that ye sought me? Wish ye not that I must be about my father's business? Right, which that's another topic, man, because that proves that you become a man when you're 12 years old, man. Okay. And that's another topic, man, because there's this one person, man, who sent me an email, and they were saying that, they brought up something about, it says that, you didn't have to pay, tribute until you were 20, so that proves you weren't an adult till you're 20. Well, that's not true, because if you read the entirety of the law, I'm not sure of the verse off the top of my head, but, when you read in the scriptures, it clearly speaks about those, I believe it starts to, they have to start paying when they're 5 years old, a certain percentage of money, which, of course the parents will give it for them, but, which again, I could be mistaken on that. It might be a higher age, and it's been a while since I looked into it, but I know it's before 20. Okay, you would have to pay lesser amounts, but as you get older, you pay more. It wasn't because you weren't a man if you weren't under, 20. It's just because, just like today, you have certain people who are financially doing better than others. So it would depend on one's financial condition. Say, for an example, if you're an older man, say you're in your 20s, and you're in financial stress, well, guess what? You can go to the priest, and you could get, they could do an arrangement where you pay less money. Okay, and that's in the scriptures. Okay, so then I brought up, what if about, Numbers, the 8th chapter, because it says that you can't work in the priesthood till you're 25. So does that mean you're not a man till you're 25? And the answer is no. Right? Guys just don't know what they're talking about. Right? Guys just don't know what scriptures. Anyway, going back to Luke chapter 2 and verse 48, it says, "And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said to him, Son, why hast thou thus dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing." Right, but the point of the matter is that Mary said that that Joseph is the father of Jesus. She said that Jesus has a father on earth, which is Joseph. She said that. Okay, so I mean, it's clear as day to what it's talking about. And mind to God, it's funny because when I bring this out, he'll deliberately skip over these verses. He won't acknowledge it. It's like, I mean, I suppose that is a good point, but I won't address that. We'll completely skip over that part. And that's what he does. If I bring up a verse, it's like, you're wrong. Well, wait a second, what's the verse mean? Well, I don't got time for that. That's all he's, really doing. He won't really go into the verses presented. He'll just, pretend, or pretend, that it isn't true. Just like, he's a pretendo, right? A pretender. Just like, what was it? Just like Mario said in that, that video, the racist Mario, man. Right? They're all, pretenders. They're all pretendos, right? They're all pretendos. Inside joke. I want to get one more Skip G. Let's go to the book of Hebrews, chapter 7, and verse 14. It says, "For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of the tribe of Judah, of which tribe Moses spoke nothing concerning the priesthood." Right, but the point of the matter is it says it's evident that the Lord sprang out of the tribe of Judah. Now, who is of Judah? His father, right, Joseph. Okay, so if he came from Judah, because again, the lineage goes by the man. Okay, the mother is not involved in it. The lineage of who you are goes by your father's side of the family. Okay, and once you know that, it's like, well, wait a second, how could Jesus be from the tribe of Judah if he didn't have a biological father? And these guys don't know, right? They don't know. It's like, we'll skip over that part. That's all these guys really do, man. All right, but anyway, I think I pretty much, made, a point. I think that's, going to wrap up the video there. Pretty much that's the whole case, man. Okay, mind of God, my man, you got to do a response to this, man. And in your video, make sure you play mine. Play mine fully through. You can pause it, as you watch through, the so-called, quote-unquote, expose me. Fair enough. But, let the people listen to what I'm saying. Let them listen to the proof I'm bringing up. And then you can refute it, while you're doing it. Okay, so I expect to see a quote-unquote rebuke or disproving video from you on how this teaching is incorrect. Okay, and you better address the information presented. And if you don't, well, then you're going off. Okay, anyway, I'll end off with saying, you don't know scriptures. Mighty God don't know the scriptures. And, of course, gotta end off by giving all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And I'm going to say shalom.